It never ends around here. There's a zombie in my garden, my sheep is missing, an orc ate my baby. Night and day.
Know much about zombies, do you? How about walking both?
I wouldn't venture too far out of town if I were you. Many legionnaires did so before you. Very few have returned.
Well, what's this I've spotted?
warm as fresh apple pie.
Beyond these walls, the
like
dead
I've
roam
just had a
free,
long
Hunter.
bath in a cold
Be
lake.
vigilant.
I'm overheating here.
You're a soul Santa, aren't you? They say you can talk to animals, but I, for one...
I could do with
I
a
wouldn't
cold
venture
drink.
too far out of town if I were you. Many legionnaires did so before you. Very few have returned. Whose invention? The stasis blaster. Quite a sight, no? The ray can singe a zombie. These days, we legionnaires hold a lottery to see who gets to man the things. You can bet it's no small amount easier to blast those flesh-eating... Don't ask me how the blaster works, though. I just make sure the thing's hitting its target.
You're a source hunter, aren't you?
Warm as dragon's breath.
Good luck with these.
Better to evacuate this place while there is still some left to save.
Good luck with these. Say, no one's around. You wouldn't raise a fuss if I, borrowed one of these fish, would you?
Fresh haddock. Perfect for a fry-up.
Borrow indeed. I'll sooner meet a cat wizard than see that merchant repaid.
Come now, I'll be good for it, I swear! Oh, my story's tired by now. I was happy enough, prosperous enough, before these lean times around Sicil began. I never would have dreamt of resorting to petty theft during better times. But what choice have I got now? If it's steal or starve, so what do you think? Should I snag a fish?
This batch is only hours from the sea.
Watch the undead quiver in their mouldy boots.
Heavenly herring. Delicious dogfish. Yours for a scrap.
Everyone needs a hand now and then. Take the fish, and none but us will be the wiser.
Watch the undead quiver in their mouldy
True
boots.
enough. Without a bit of charity.
That's the spirit! Or should I say, the soap?
Sir, did you just steal that fish?
No, I paid for it. The merchant just left, but I paid.
You were a witness to this event now? Tell me what happened.
This man is telling the truth. He paid for that fish fair and square.
Quite so. I saw him pay the merchant.
I can't thank you enough for your, discretion.
Well, sorry to have bothered you then, sir.
That thief is free for now. But I wonder how long it'll be until his growling belly seduces him back onto the crooked path. I can understand your sympathy for that man, but feeding him for one day will hardly remedy his circumstances. You would have done better to help him most.
Fresh haddock. Perfect for a fry-up. Sorry, but I haven't the time for chatter. These days, a moment's inattention is all a thief needs to snatch my livelihood out from under me. The dead are on the prowl, the councillor's been murdered, and now source hunters are encouraging petty theft. The few honest amongst us are swimming against the stream, I'll tell you what.
You're a source hunter.
Oh, he'd never...
Better to evacuate. Say, no one's around. You wouldn't...
Borrow, indeed.
Come now! I'll be good for it, I swear! Oh, my story's tired by now. I was happy enough, prosperous enough, before these lean times around Sice. I never would have dreamt of resorting to petty theft during better times. But what choice have I got now? If it's steal or starve... So what do you think? Should I snag a fish?
Them mouldy boots.
That merchant has to eat too, you know. Leave the fish alone.
Sheep's cheese, tomatoes.
Yes, you know what they say about giving a man a fish. This man should learn to stand on his own 2 feet.
I suppose you've got a point. Another day, another rumbling belly. Laurel's never fed a hungry man, you know.
I'm straight. I'm true.
I've spotted something.
The earth here seems to have been freshly fertilized and aerated. Obviously, someone has taken great care to maintain this gravesite.
We and our shovels will do as we please.
That's right.
As you prepare to break ground, you gaze at the dirt beneath your feet once more.
This is wrong. We shouldn't disturb this grave.
Right you are.
You step away from the grave.
I give milk. I give wool. And what do I get in return? One way or another, they always try to fleece me. Especially...
Moo! Don't disturb Master Theliron now. He's been so busy with his research, the poor dear hasn't had a proper night's sleep in months. Moo! Don't disturb Master Theliron now. He's been so busy with...
Neither of you cares to plead for his very existence.
But if one were to reduce the quantity of skull dust by a percentage of 2?
Oh, a source hunter. Imagine that. Quite a bit more petite than the last of your kind I encountered, aren't you? But, no matter. Even if it couldn't spare its heartiest specimen, I'm sure the Order sent the individual with the next highest probability of success. Huh? Me? Why, I'm more than a little surprised you haven't heard of it. It was I who cured the Duchess of Arata of her unslakable thirst. A simple pinch of Atropa belladonna in her morning tea. I who discovered that aging itself can be halted by a single application of Cicuta Douglasii on the tongue. Not to mention that it's been my guidance that has permitted my apprentice Evelyn to make quite a name for herself around Sicily. Yes. If that's how we're referring to the secretive use of a revolutionary healing method, she's in the other room as we speak. Perhaps you can prevail upon her to offer a demonstration. She's gotten hold of a stone, supposedly capable of fantastic feats of healing, but she won't let me take the briefest look at it. But she claims to have gotten the relic from a little northern town, Silverglen by name, and that an abbot there... Utter rubbish, I say. But with these blasted undead haunting the travel routes, I can hardly march up to Silverglen to learn the truth myself. Well, she certainly possesses a critical eye and an exacting manner when it comes to making... I expect she'll be a very successful healer in her own right when the time comes. She is learning from the best, after all. Certainly, what would you like to know? The counsellor. Terrible loss, that. Though we were hardly more than acquaintances, I knew him to be a devoted civil... From what I can tell, it seems to be a simple case of jealousy turned violent. The affairs of his wife, Esmeralda, were hardly a secret. I've applied myself to that problem for 2 years and still haven't come a step closer to solving it. I declare it an act of the Almighty's, if I believed in such things. Some events, Source Hunter, can be neither controlled nor understood by... Sorry, but there isn't much work for sailors in a house of medicine. Unless one of them happens to have a secret stash of healing stones.
Make your case.
A mysterious healing stone. Interesting indeed.
Make your case. Nothing sets me on edge like inexplicable magic.
Tone, soothing corpses.
Excuse me? This is a private sick room. Who in the name of the Sevens you think you are barging in here? Out, I say, right this instant. Oh, I'm sorry. It's this task. I'm just... Who am I to meddle with life and death this way? I'm an apprentice of the healing arts. Healing! But this decision feels like precisely the opposite. I have but one healing stone, you see, and 2 direly wounded men who need it. I've been racking my brain trying to decide on the best method to settle this grave situation, but perhaps it's better off in the hands of an esteemed source hunter. Surely you are more accustomed. What would you like to know? One of the brave few willing to traverse the trade routes plagued by the undead. A young man, but excellent in matters of business, before he fell victim to an orcish club in the north, that is.
He's for this world. What's taking Tenderfoot so long?
Thankfully for him, a cattle trader found him, nearly dead, but not quite so, and brought him here straight away. Quite the venerable staple of Sicile, Stephen, and recently blessed with his 3rd grandchild. He was leading a crew of builders when a stray beam struck him in the temple, and only a few days shy of his last day of work before retirement, no less. Nearly everyone in Sicile is familiar with Grinning Stephen. Yes, a curious relic indeed. I got it from a kindly abbot, Loic by name. in the northern town of Silver Glen. He is of a certain faith, the Immaculates, they call themselves, that espouses the belief that certain stones can heal wounded flesh. I myself was nothing if not skeptical of his claims, but something happened as he handed me the stone. A small cut on my finger instantly healed, leaving no trace of the wound. Needless to say, I was astounded, but it's strange. The stone is only good for a single use at a time before it reverts to a useless, inert state. It takes time to regain its magical properties, and I guard it. You are? I thank you 1,000,000 times for your help.
Those memories long for this world. What's taking Tenderfoot so long?
Boris's life has just begun. We can't cut it short now. He should receive the stone.
Soothing a corpse's troubled mind. Can't have gotten far.
Yes, Boris deserves to experience all the pleasure. Boris it is? Yes, I'll deliver the stone. I'm glad we'll get to save one man. My heart breaks for...
Thank
No,
the seven.
no, this is highly abnormal. What is this? This lightning.
I don't know what I did to deserve it.
What happened? Is this a dream?
I don't think so. That stone. Somehow it sent us flying into the stars.
Terrible, terrible, terrible! It will consume us all! By the quill that lasts 1,000,000,000 words, what's this? 2 Rivalonians here? At the end of space and time? How very, very, very curious! Oh yes, proper introductions. Zigzags the historian at your service. It is my job to record all that was and is, and as for how I got here, well, for a historian appointed by the gods themselves, hopping to the end of time, how you got here, though? On such a tiny and rapidly shrinking vestige of space and time, I wouldn't have expected to find a soul but my own shadow. At last a question I can answer most definitively. I mentioned already that this place is the time ought naturally to have no end at all. Indeed, I can think of no worse nightmare for a chronicler such as myself. But something totally show, don't tell, I always say. So go, peer through yonder looking lens, and...
Might be quite mad.
Then we'd better appease him and have a look through the looking lens.
Come now, don't be coy. Have a look. You looked. You saw. Terrifying, isn't... What's this? The portal. It's... No, you first. But don't dilly-dally. You, dear stranger, you must be the key. Something about your presence here is those torches, a light. This portal active once more. It cannot be coincidence. Goodness me, how right you are. There's so much to take in, I'd nearly forgotten. And what you saw has been... It is the void itself. The dragon that is devour. I can't say for sure where it came from, how or why, but I do know this. It's shrinking our future by the second. And if we don't stop it, it will devour the past and present as well. It's not that I believe, it's that I have seen. Long have I been with then. No longer than a few mere moments after you arrive, zap it goes. The chronicler of time. Ah, though I cannot say for certain. If it is what I believe, then our prayers might well be answered. In fact, every last question that ever plagued your noggin might well be answered. For I believe what lies beyond this portal. But why spoil the mystery? As soon as we leap through, we'll find out for certain. After you, after you. Oh, what wonders we may find. You first, but don't dilly-dally.
And he's off.
It seems the imp has spotted exactly who and what he'd hoped to find here.
Indeed, Sir Imp. As surely as you are he who chronicles all that I weave.
Astounding! Unbelievable! I have so many questions for you, so much to ask.
You have brought guests, I see.
My reaction exactly, milady. It was their arrival here at the end of time that instigated my finding you. But why?
This is a question better put to our guests themselves. Tell us, how did you arrive upon this plane? A stone. So, it was a stone that caused the great shock of energy that brought you here. and it infused... Not like this, no. What happened to you is unique in all. Never had I experienced something so contrary to my nature. To weave something I had not seen, had not expected. Life does not simply spring into existence, you see. But yours has. You appeared before me from the moment you came into contact with that stone. Starstone. I now know it to be called.
But, Madam Weaver, how is it possible? Do you not see all? Have you not woven all that is and could ever be in...
Like the stones, your guests are a mystery to me. I see them before me in this world, but their likenesses appeared not upon my tapestry. Source hunters. It would seem that yourselves and Starstone are inextricably linked. Why and how, I cannot say. But I do believe that finding more stones will reveal to me who you... Starstone is not what it seems, Source Hunter. Its true nature must be part of a greater secret. A secret lost, even to me. Do you see what violence my work has suffered? What wounds lay upon the tapestry of time?
Mysteries of all time, gaps in history. Oh, how...
It would appear that Starstone transforms at your touch, granting me new thread by which to mend the tapestry. Thus,
I see. What the void would shrink, Starstone restores.
Yes. Though I cannot explain why this Starstone is the antidote to the void's ravishment of our realm. If we do not restore time, if we do not discover the true nature of these stones, the void will consume us all. Indeed you must, though I may not yet understand why. It seems that you and you alone can unlock the powers within Starstone. Yet we are not the only—
Why, of course! That's what they were doing. I have recorded their doings, you see. Collectors of Starstone, more and more by the day. Now I understand. They'd keep the stones from our reach.
Without these stones, Hunter, there will be no Rivellon. The entire tapestry will crumble. Even this plane will fall victim to the voids in—
That shall never be, milady. As sure as Zix comes before Zax, we will put a stop to it. First, we mend the tapestry. Then, please, our most mysterious guest. Are you ready? Are you willing? Will you hunt out the stone? So, what do you think, Source Hunter?
Not but a moment ago, we were hunting Source in Rivellon, and now we're being told that we alone can prevent the end of time by way of some magical stones. What do you make of it?
What'll it be, Source Hunter? Do tell! Come! I got something for you if you're up to the challenge. Come! I got something for you if you're up to the challenge.
We can't deny our reaction to Starstone. There must be something to all of this, mad as it may seem.
So, what do you think, Source Hunter? So, what do you think?
No matter how improbable, anything is possible. If the Weaver
So, what do you think, Source Hunter?
I have the last chest. The last chest. The last chest! If you believe yourself worthy of rifling through my ample treasures, I do dare you to prove it! Find my 4 sisters, no more than one in each of the realms of your wide world, and each by each, you'll discover how to open me! I have the last chest.
Come! I got something for you if you're up to the challenge. The glint in your gaze and the set of your brow suggest to me that you've not given up on our dear old— No, with you searching out Starstone, I believe we'll mend the tapestry in no time. We'll find out just who you are, but you'll need a way to travel between Rivellon and this homestead, won't you? Who wouldn't want to see what fantastic changes you're certain? Luckily, the power of portals is known to you, so I'll let you in on the little secret of how to transport back and forth from the end of time. Just, don't go sharing it around. Off you go, then. You've Starstone to find, and I've a tapestry to examine. Surely there must be some clue here as to how on earth you're related to the end of time.
Cross my heart, hope to fade in the void, I honestly don't know. But ask her. If she claims it is so, perhaps she knows why.
Like the imp said to the ballista operator, shoot, wouldn't it just? Would that I had a Starstone sightseeing guide, but just like yourselves, Starstones are curiously absent from history, both in my writings and, from what I can gather, though, they were once cherished by devious sorcerers whose reign ended long ago. The stones, ruins, caves, the lairs of long-forgotten evils. Those are the dens you should frequent. 2 more pieces of advice. Don't go unarmed, and consult with my agent. But the mere fact that activated Starstone has set the Weaver of Time weaving again more than implies that it and the Void, this in turn more than implies that you are the Void's natural enemy, for it is you who is setting new events in motion. You who is handing the Weaver new threads. And that which she is weaving is more. We may not understand the how yet, but our aim is clear. We shall save creation from the grip of the Void. Now, isn't that a lovely mission? Oh, I don't know if I'm more than those things per se, but having been given a divine mission does have its perks. Old age can't touch me, that's one. Immortality is mine as long as no one's... But of course I have a price to pay for something that is priceless. It is my duty to record all of history, and an arduous task that is. Not to mention how so gather those starstones so that we may know the history that was lost. Know so that we must not rip lonesome observing the frontier of creation, surfing the vibrant tide of the eons, always approaching yet never reaching shore. Well, yes, actually. I don't mean to complain, but one certainly doesn't mind a bit of Perhaps you can imagine the profound pleasure it is to have made the Weaver's acquaintance after all these years. I can hardly wait to pick her brain about the great battle of the sons of Sigurd. The last Rivellonian who remembered. Before you go, Source Hunter, a final word. Once you return to Rivellon, there will be someone waiting for you. I hope he'll be able to help you as much as he can. Time, I need hardly remark. The Lady of Time! The Weaver of History! I am your biggest fan, dear lady. Could I get your autograph?
It shall be my pleasure, Sir Imp. I'll embroider it in the first volume of your all-encompassing chronicles. How welcome you are upon this realm, our most honored guest. I hope you begin to find this place more familiar than it may yet. In the ethereal threads of eternity, do I record the deeds of God, the drift of continents through changing seas, the rise and fall of empires, the shift of every grain of sand on every beach, except, it seems, you. Ask, and I shall answer, if I can. I am the Weaver of Time, as I have told you. Though my existence is one that falls behind and yet far exceeds the verb. I am but what I am, and that is task. It is the same for the historian. Perhaps we are one and the same. Task multiplied by 2. Who has made us? I do not know. Why am I the beginning? And am I to be the end? Who shall say? Perhaps I am the first thing in creation. Perhaps I am creation. Perhaps I am the creator. Or maybe it is you. You who makes dying... Alas, the answers to those questions still elude me. A hidden answer lies behind this veil of inscrutability, though. I believe that starstones will not lead you to new places of wonder only. No. They will also lead to new knowledge through... Oh, Hunter. I have no need for company. Like I have no need for air or appetite or affection. All I need, and all I am, is time. And yet, I do enjoy your companionship, for you may prove to become the cure that will heal my slipping soul. Quite so. Your absence, it should be an impossibility, but no matter where I look, you cannot be found. I do not know you, which makes you my one perennial imperfection, a blind spot in the eye of time. But perchance I may be cured of this blindness. Perchance the blemish may be undone, and time can be redeemed. What it is but a seed bereft of sun and water. What it could be, that I reside in another realm altogether. But ever since the end of time appeared in these deep dark skies, I materialized here, as if forced to watch the one thing that is unwatchable, unendurable. A thankless task that you may yet free me from forever. I think that perhaps you can redeem time, because you create time. Indeed, you have set in motion an event I no longer held possible. Know that no longer I did weave. I sat here at the end of time and watched on as the void frays the fabric of time like a terrified god that fears the offspring of his own creation. But suddenly there was you. You who stirred the life within the stones. New threads emerged, and I began to weave anew. Starstone gives me new strands to braid into the tapestry. And these starstones, please, seek them so that time may yet be mended. Please, for the sake of all that lives.
A question has me stumped, milady. Why are there two of us? Two beings that record all of history parallel to one another?
That is a good question, Zigzags. One without a conclusive answer, though its resolution may lie in conception. Where you chronicle, I both chronicle and create. Where you arrive at conclusions, I spin origins besides.
I wonder, do you know more about the void? What it is? What lies at the heart of it?
What lies at its heart? Why, nothing, of course. The great absence of all that even the gods cannot comprehend. It eludes us, like infinity, or the finality of tick-tocking time.
I have the last test.
A question has me stumped, milady. Why are there two of us? Two beings that record all of history parallel to one another?
That is a good question, Zigzags. One without a conclusive answer, though its resolution may lie in conception. Where you chronicled, I both
Good to see you on the shelter plane. A home like the imp said to the ballista operator. Shoot!
How might I serve our mission?
The Lady of Time, the weaver of history. I am your biggest fan, dear lady. Could I get
Source Hunters, I welcome you once again to the realm of Rivellon after your travels through the chasms of space. Nice to have found a shelter. I know the imp historian has told you about his agent on Rivellon, and that agent is I. So now that you know of the alliance between me and Sir Zigzags, let us turn to the business at hand. Starstone.
Steady, boys. Steady.
Plenty of fish
We'll
in
be
the
leaving
sea,
as
but
soon as
I've
we're
got the
packed up.
foulest of the lot on my racks.
So it is, and so it should continue to be. For I suspect his foul murder and the plight of dying dark webs are being woven around these parts, and it is my firm belief starstones are the flies the sorcerer spiders are trying to catch. It can therefore hardly be a coincidence. That means the task you have been given remains crucial. Find the assassin that did away with Jake, for you're bound to stumble upon Starstone along the way. While you were being lectured by our friend the historian and the grande dame of time, I snuck into his house and had a look around.
Plenty of fish in the sea, but I've
The
got
advantage of being a cat, you know. You go where you please with impunity. And sometimes the lady of the... That's where I saw them in a cabinet. Mere slivers, but specks of starstones nonetheless. They lay there, silent and innocent. Though bloody murder may have been committed in the... Don't we all long for a sanctuary where our worldly troubles can be held at bay? A bed or a basket so snug it becomes, in a word. But perhaps I speak only for myself, not for veterans such as yourselves that by necessity call any patch of ground they rest upon home. Like any cat worth its salt, though, I deeply cherish a secret refuge unbeknownst to anyone. To be able to repose without a care is such a precious circumstance, save it all too seldomly.
I can't even smell the sea air.
Let me phrase it like Zigzags might. A universe without time is like a pen without ink. A pointless instrument stripped of the potential. I'll not pretend to have all the answers, all that I understand, all that is happening here and out there among the stars. But I do. If Zigzags worries, I worry. We are talking about a creature, after all, that has reclined among the divines as nonchalantly as you and I lays beside... I met him first, a long time ago, out in the wastes of Youthful Gore. He wondered aloud what on earth a cat was doing out there in the scorching desert. Then so I told him who I was and showed him my human form. He laughed and marveled and told me stories of... In the end, he even shared his great sorrow with me. The unspeakable thing you saw through his looking lens. I was awed and frightened, but swore to help him in any way I could. As of now, that includes... Oh, before you go, here, take this teleporter pyramid. A handy toy indeed that Zigzags asked. You'll need the other one too if you want to make use of its powers, but alas, I seem to have misplaced it. Don't worry though. Use this one here and it'll take you straight to its twin. Now that this matter has been settled, hunters, I shall detain you no longer. But rest assured, I'll do my share of hunting too. So if you spot a white cat during your travels, do stop to say hello.
Slimy, reeking, rotting sea garbage. Plenty of fish in the sea, but I've got the foulest of the lot on my racks.
My gods! What is going on here? First I have to shoo away a creeping white tomcat, and now there's a perfect stranger in my bathroom. Get out, will you? Little mix-up indeed. I don't know what you and that horrible little imp are planning, but leave my bathroom out of it.
Well, that's what you get for trying.
Out! Now, if you please! This room is private. Don't just stand there. Go! Away with you! What are you still doing here? Begone! Out! Now, if
Seven
you
grant
please!
abundance.
This room is private. Don't just stand.
Oh, it goes to and fro with the city's youth. They hustle and bustle, while I sit here stagnantly and what? Oh, how nice it is of you. The very picture of youth, to break the monotony. Pray, let me be forward with you. O sapling rose, O leaf of spring, for my weary mind is troubled, and would highly prize if I am but an aged elf that has seen the years parade in long succession. Gladly shall I tell you more. Will I regale thee, O whelp of men, with my tale? You would listen to my grievances, guide me towards untroubled realms. Oh, you are truly a wonder, O budding flower of the morn. Yet, that which I would tell you is of a rather hot spiced wine, and a snug little room awaits us on the king crab's first floor. Let us go there, so that we can warm our bones.
Not in the mood for cheese. The excuse is more hose than a slice of this fine Gorman bear.
You there! A moment of your indulgence, if you please. You are the source hunter, are you not? The hero the whole of Sightseal is abuzz about. No, scratch that. It is so much more than a delight. It is an intervention of fate. Mendius, at your service. What is my profession? Well, I'll tell you what it used to be, and that is a man of medicine. But what does a man of medicine do but mend what has first been broken? I saved lives, to be sure, but today I change them. They call the undead a problem, my friend, but those who know the ways of the fabulous five see no problems. They see opportunities. An enterprising spirit can wrench riches from... Oh, it's not merely an opportunity. It is a once-in-a-lifetime chance to become... better. To become the full extent of the promise that is locked in...
He's on your block with a wheel of the good stuff.
Waiting for what?
Heavenly herring! Delicious dogfish! Yours for a scrap doll each!
Oh, let's see that way. Sheep's cheese?
Of course I do. How could someone in my profession not?
For cheese? The excuse is more...
Quite right. Adventure is what we live for.
See here. You and I share the same passion. I never doubted it for a moment. The thrill of walking the unbeaten path. The rush of finding yourself in a goblin ambush, knowing you'll prevail nonetheless. Too bad your line of work comes with such measly recompense. Am I right? The wage of a mere soldier. Now, between you and me, tell me truthfully, don't you sometimes wish you could earn more?
Pay the big cheese She's on your block with a whale of the good stuff.
Let's see. Hamburger, cheese, tomatoes.
Riches do not interest me much, actually.
Nor me. Wealth is but vanity.
Oh, but I know you're just being bashful. I bet that in your heart of hearts, your eyes... Even so, my friend, matters of a pecuniary nature aside, what is life without variety, without spice? To be a source hunter must get frightfully dreary sometimes. Am I right? All those orders. Investigate this, retrieve that, and at the end of the day, what do you have to share?
There's no shame in following directives if your masters are worthy of your trust.
True enough. We serve a just cause, so why wouldn't we follow our orders?
Come now. I refuse to believe such a uniquely skilled individual would settle for a puppet's role. Life's too short to spend it doing someone else's bidding. Am I right? Of course I am. And I could help you attain the dream. And that is exactly why I am here. Why fate has put me right by the door to the King Crab. So that I could meet you and tell you about the marvel that is the the Fabulous Five. How I enjoy simply saying the words that describe the most illustrious and celebrated adventurers' guild in Riverlon. Our mission, to better the world. You'd like nothing more than to enlist, wouldn't you? Of course you would. And you can. Of course, if you still have questions, I shall answer them to the best of my abilities. But if not, how about we get started? What a gem of a question. Straight as an arrow, sharp as a switchblade. Most meritorious of you. Now, to join the Fabulous Five is to join a fellowship, to join a fraternity, a sorority, a community. The title of Knight is bestowed upon you the moment you sign our waiver, and so it all begins. I shall be the one to give you your first contracts, and once the job is done, I shall see to it you get your Of course, should you spread the word, should you propagate the gospel of the Fabulous Five and thereby draw new knights into our fellowship, you will get a share of the reward from their... By now, the genial glow of the fellowship must have warmed your heart. It has, hasn't it? But did I say fellowship? I mean family. For like a family, we support one another, cheer one another, see each work hard, fulfill contracts, enlist new knights, and swiftly shall you rise through the ranks. You will better yourself. You will better Riverlon. You will make the stars shine all the brighter, and you'll get fabulously wealthy in the process. What's not to like?
Tomatoes.
Oh, let us see if you can choose the party.
To say it, I've got my eye on you, Baron.
I am a duke, potato-eating peasant.
Whatever happened to that two eager imbeciles we sent to the northern cave?
Do I seem like this?
Ah, hello. I suppose you're here to viciously interrogate me for information I don't have, like our noble Captain Aureus before you. I am the Duke of Ferrell, though I suppose my name is in the mouths of enough ruthless gossipers that you've heard of me by now. It's very tragic news. I won't posture and say that the Chancellor and I were anything near allies, but I truly never wished...
Alistair, have you ever had the fortune of challenging...
Never saw you in the king crab before. You're welcome to scratch me behind the ears if you like. I won't scratch back. I am Unsinkable Sam. At least that's what they call me around here. Used to be a ship's cat, but the clipper I was on sank, and I was the only one to wrestle himself free from the waves. The people here were kind and took me in, being the king crab's foremost patron. A magnificent ship she was. Used to belong to a pirate, I was told. Unlike me, she didn't prove to be unsinkable, though. We hit the cliffs right neath the lighthouse. Not very apt a name for that building, I must say, for no light was shining from it. The moment I hit the water, I writhed around like I would on a hot tin roof. By some miracle, I managed to reach the beach, covered in kelp and smelling worse than a fish's funeral parlor. But I was alive, and that was more than anybody else could say.
Swollen saffrons, I dare say.
So I was. What friends I had. They drowned alongside the rats I used to hunt in the galley. And there I... Not that I have it bad here, mind you. I've milk and fish aplenty. Most folks will pet me kindly, and when one of the village girls holds me tight against her ample bosom, I purr up a storm. But I do long for a companion of my own kind. And in that regard, there is no one like Maxine.
Do I seem like the sort who concerns myself with such things?
Maxine, the mayor's darling pet. So gentle, so fair a feline. She likes me. I know she does. But when I declare my love, she backs away. I don't know why. I have serenaded her and braved many a bucket of water for my efforts. But for some reason, she is not to be swayed. By all means. People make a fuss about them because they endanger the lands around the city. They never bother me when I'm out for my monthly walk, though. But still, I do detest them. I mean, they're so unnatural, aren't they? Cats can have 9 lives, but humans are only entitled to 1. Oh, don't mention orcs to me. Worse than dogs, that lot. Sank Walrus Willie's boat right from under him. Best anchovy fisher in the world he was. A loss to us all.
I am a duke, potato-eating peasant.
Back, demon! Back, or I'll... Well, what's this? Oh, Medora, you lummox. 1,000 pardons, comrade. This old bear's edgier than a dodecahedron these days. I'll tell you, it sure does me good to set eyes on another of our order. From Academy West, aren't you? Give Captain Wartruce my regards next time you see him. You wouldn't. I trained up in Academy North, after all. We don't cross paths with you Westies all that often, but it's always a pleasure when we do. Medora's the name. Retired, or so the Order keeps trying to tell me, but never out of commission. My hand to your cause and my sword at your side.
Do I seem like the sort who concerns myself?
Heavens hornets! That's quite a story, comrade. And come to think of it, one that might concern you. See, I'm here on, well, let's call it a loan from a town to the north of here. Hunter's Edge by name. There's been an attack there, comrade. Orcs. Not your run-of-the-mill savages either. What they want in Hunter's Edge, I can't say. But it's my responsibility to send them packing. Preferably with their horns in their suitcases and a knee-knocking fear of ever crossing paths with a sauce hunter again.
Alistair, have you ever had the fortune of challenging the fabled wizard of Hunter's Edge?
I came south seeking the Legion's help, only to find it tied here in Sicil. They don't have a spare soldier to send northward, and even in my finest form, I can't clear the place of that many orcs without backup. by the skin of my teeth, comrade. The savages were rounding up villagers when one of them activated a tripwire on our village wizard's property. Fortunately for me, that particular wizard has a penchant for things that go boom in the night. Alistair, I managed to wrench free of my captor's grip and flee toward the forest. He pursued me for miles, but I'd lost him before I made it into the Sicil hinterlands. Well, comrade, I hadn't thought of it till you tapped my shoulder just now. But perhaps I need a contingent I can trust if I'm to take back the town. And the way I see it, you could use reinforcements here in town. I've been scouting Sicil for some time now, and I believe I've sussed out sufficient intel to help solve the murder of the Councillor. With our minds and swords in tandem, we'll make short work of the perpetrator.
Do I seem like the sort who concerns myself with such things?
Well, you know the old expression. 2's a tea party, 3's an invasion. I know this place like the back of my hand by now, and the orcs up north will be short work for a trained-up trio of sauce hunters.
Tell me, Alistair, have you ever had the fortune of challenging the
A fantastic plan. With 3 source hunters working in tandem, we'll put an end to all the evils bent against this fair land.
Say he's privy to ancient and arcane secrets.
Another source hunter on the team will make us all the more formidable.
That's the spirit. Listen closely now. Do you hear it? That's the sound of every orc and sorcerer in a 100-mile radius, shaking in his wee boots.
Come now, Alistair. Surely you've met your match once or twice.
Ha! The closest I've come to my match is when I linger over Longmont lighting my pipe.
Oh, careful now. Your head's grown more swollen than saffron's, I dare say. Do I seem like the sort who concerns myself with such things?
You'll be concerned enough when you realize that reward money won't be lining your pockets.
Tell me, Alistair, have you ever had the fortune of challenging the fabled wizard of Hunter's Edge?
Fortune? Ha! He should be so lucky as to be defeated by Alistair the Great.
They say he's privy to ancient and arcane
A
secrets.
source hunter? I'd like to report some dark magic. Only tainted hearts could tip as miserably as this lot. Been at the King Crab nearly 10 years now, personally. Seen every character you can imagine, from bums to wizards, passed through these doors for a pint and a place to rest. I think I'm one of the last folks to hear him alive. That awful scream has been ringing in my ears ever since. And with the room where it all happened still under quarantine, we've though that's the question, isn't it? What exactly did happen? We all thought it was Esmeralda who checked into that room, and the Duke that followed her in. I was washing up and nudging the last of the lushes out of the door when a cloaked woman rushed in right past me. I never got a good look at her, damn my eyes, but I figured the way she disappeared that she was visiting one of the lodges. Lucky for the perpetrators, I was rinsing bottles in the back when the terrible deed took place and saw nothing more. I'm not proud to say I ducked under the counter and damn well stayed there till I heard Ivad fling that door open, but I was paralyzed with fright.
Whatever happened to that troop of eager imbeciles we sent to the northern cave?
Do I seem like the sort who concerns myself with such things?
You'll be concerned enough when you realize that reward army won't be lining your...
A source hunter! I'd like to report some dark magic.
Denson dugongs, you nearly startled me out of my boots. Well, you've got my attention, comrade. Ask away, my friend, ask away. Always helps to know a thing or two about it. More than I'd hoped, comrade. I don't know what in tarnation's gotten into the townsfolk here, but there's enough dark magic running. There's Mayor Cecil's doings, for one, and the mysteries of our master. And on top of it all, the feline menace is lurking. Now, don't get me wrong, I think the mayor's a decent sort, even if he can't hear farther than the tip of it. But from what I've heard whispered around the docks, the old guy's, I suspect, an illegal source artifact or substance is the root of it. But exactly what or who's giving it to him, I can't say. And since I haven't technically been assigned to Cecil, I don't have the authority to Fella seems like a humble doctor, but I'll bet my sword he's dealing in something darker than splints and tonics. A loose-lipped legionnaire let slip that she'd seen our good doctor scale the city wall on 2 separate occasions, well past midnight each time. What business could he have among the undead? Hardly the habit of an innocent healer, I'd say. You mean you don't already know, comrade? Their kind can see in the dark. It's no coincidence the Order retired me, or tried to anyhow, to such a... Way back when, the settlement was chartered as a stronghold. Don't let the name fool you, though. These days, the forest is little more than a smattering of trees and ruins. A perfect posting for an old... In the days of old, though, the forest played host to source devils of every make and kind. Hunter's Edge was a settlement of source hunters, tasked with... By now, it's been centuries since anything more dangerous than a badger has come out of those woods. By and by, the source hunters moved...
And it won't be lining your pockets.
Tell me, Alistair, have you ever had the fortune of challenging the fabled wizard of Hunter's Edge?
Fortune? Ha! He should be so lucky as to be defeated by Alistair the Great.
They say he's privy to ancient and arcane secrets, the likes of which I doubt you could even fathom, old friend. Come now, Alistair. Surely you've met your match once or twice.
Ha! The closest I've got to my match is when I linger over long while lighting my pipe.
Oh, careful now. Your head's grown more swollen than Saffron's, I dare say.
Whatever happened to that troop of eager imbeciles we sent to the northern cave?
Do I seem like the sort who concerns myself with such things?
You'll be concerned enough when you realize that reward money won't be lining your pockets.
Tell me, Alistair, have you ever had the fortune of challenging the fabled wizard of Hunter's Edge?
Fortune? Ha! He should be so lucky as to be defeated by Alistair the Great.
They say he's privy to ancient and arcane secrets, the likes of which I doubt you could even fathom, old friend. Come now, Alistair. Surely you've met your match once or twice.
Ha! The closest I've come to my match is when I linger over long while lighting my pipe.
Oh, careful now. Your head's grown more swollen than saffron's, I dare say.
Whatever happened to that troop of eager imbeciles we sent to the northern cave?
Do I seem like the sort who concerns myself with such things?
You'll be concerned enough when you realize that reward money won't be lining your pockets.
Tell me, Alistair, have you ever had the fortune of challenging the fabled wizard of Hunter's Edge?
Fortune? Ha! He should be so lucky as to be defeated by Alistair the Great.
They say he's privy to ancient and arcane secrets, the likes of which I doubt you could even fathom, old friend. Come now, Alistair. Surely you've met your match once or twice.
Ha! The closest I've come to my match is when I linger over long while lighting my pipe.
Oh, careful now. Your head's grown more swollen than saffron's, I dare say.
Whatever happened to that troop of eager imbeciles we sent to the northern cave?
Do I seem like the sort who concerns myself with such things?
You'll be concerned enough when you realize that reward money won't be lining your pockets.
Tell me, Alistair, have you ever had the fortune of challenging the fabled wizard of Hunter's Edge?
Fortune? Ha! He should be so lucky as to be defeated by Alistair the Great.
They say he's privy to ancient and arcane secrets, the likes of which I doubt you could even fathom, old friend. Come now, Alistair. Surely you've met your match once or twice.
Ha! The closest I've come to my match is when I linger over long while lighting my pipe.
Oh, careful now. Your head's grown more swollen than Saffron's, I dare say.
Whatever happened to that troop of eager imbeciles we sent to the northern cave?
Do I seem like the sort who concerns myself with such things?
You'll be concerned enough when you realize that reward money won't be lining your pockets.
Tell me, Alistair, have you ever had the fortune of challenging the fabled wizard of Hunter's Edge?
Fortune? Ha! He should be so lucky as to be defeated by Alistair the Great.
They say he's privy to ancient and arcane secrets, the likes of which I doubt you could even fathom, old friend. Ah, what have we here? A source hunter, is it? Well, my day just became rather more stimulating. Tall as an elf, strong as an orc, but your face, quite classical, isn't it? Statuesque, some might say. Yes, smooth and sturdy as marble, yet fine as... And my word, what passion burns from your eyes. Please forgive my being forward, but I dare say, can it be? Well, you're exactly the person I've been searching for. I am Anna, jewel in the crown that is the Fabulous Five. I've cut 1,000 throats, and baked 1,000 bread rolls, stolen the crown jewels of the Queen of Errata, and, with my pockets full, helped her reach enlightenment. When the day comes that I die, the gods will evacuate the heavens to make space for my formidable collection of designer slippers. I contain multitudes, you see, and I am utterly replete. Except that, much to my dismay, I had as yet to find the companion to whom my heart so clearly calls. But then, Source Hunter, you wandered into this tavern, and I am most certain that that I have. For nearly a lifetime, it seems. Well, I'm sure you must know what I mean. Like existence itself lacked a significant component. Like if you could only fill a certain void, could connect with... I believe I have found that component, that body, that spirit within you, Source Hunter. Come, if ever we are to be united, we must truly entwine our fates. We must link our causes forevermore. Yes, you must join the Fabulous Five right away, as soon as time permits. Together, as a team, we'll explore the boundless realm before us. We'll uncover fate, yes. I am part of that band of valiant heroes, and ever there must I remain. But you, my match, my soul's twin, you must speak with Mendius. He stands right outside this very tavern, and he alone can bring you into our illustrious
Sorry, I've run out of signed handkerchiefs. An Alistair keyring, maybe. In any case, make it quick. You're not the only fan who wants some of my time. What do you mean, not familiar? You expect me to believe you've never heard of Alistair? Why? I'm only the most famous wizard this side of the distance. Although, it'd be worth checking the other side too. Justin, and don't forget, I'm the most eminent member of the Fabulous Five to boot. Surely you already know we've been voted the most influential adventurers guild by SideQuest Monthly. 3 years running. Your interest is piqued, I see. I'd suggest you have a chat with Mendius outside. A word of warning, though, we only accept the best and the brightest. By the looks of you, I'm not sure you'll make the cut. Those nasty beasts are hardly worth my time. Though I suppose I'll step in if none of the recruits manage to prove adept enough to handle a few skeletons.
A source hunter? I'd like to report some dark mad. Been at the King Crab nearly 10 years now, personally. I think I'm one of the though that's the quest. I was washing. Lucky for the perpetrator.
Time matches when I linger over long while lighting my pipe.
Oh, careful now.
Pointless chatter with strangers does so thrill me. How did you know? Please continue interrupting my drink if you'd be so kind.
Whatever happened to that troop of eager imbeciles we sent to the northern cave?
It's you. Just the person to answer a question. How curious of you to show interest in a lonesome stranger at the bar. Let me answer by saying that who I am is hardly any of your business. And anyone with an ounce of tact would have known that. Can I tell you? I suppose I can. And I could. But why would I turn my attention away from this whiskey?
Zimbladorix! That! Ha! Quite under my spell, aren't you? Me? You mean you don't recognize me? Well, you must live under a very large, very heavy rock. Yes, that is strange. Strange indeed. But it's a strange world we live in, isn't it? A strange and magical world. Full of wonders and radiant. Oh, you'll find out. You'll find out indeed. If I'm as good as they say I am, you'll have sprouted a pair of long purple ears in the next hour.
Surely you've met your match once or twice.
Hearty welcome to the King Crab Inn, and a pleasure to have you. You look like you could use a round or three, so what'll it be? Have a seat and stay a while. The name's Ivad. Pleased to make your acquaintance. I've been offering the weary travellers of Sicil drink and rest for nearly 2 decades now. But the King Crab's all you see before you is the manifestation of my great-grandpappy Horatius Dungeness's noble vision. Beer and naps for everyone. Well, between you and me, things have been rather slow since the, incident. But with spirits high and liquor flowing like it is tonight, it seems the crab may just come out of that pinch.
You'll be concerned enough when you realise that reward money won't be lining your pockets.
Mind if we keep our voices down over that sensitive subject? Death and dark magic ain't exactly great for business, you know. That room where it happened, It was rented to a certain woman, though I regret to say I can't say exactly who. This inn isn't in the business of asking many questions, if you know. She came heavily cloaked, but paid the full sum in advance. I was used to such transactions after many similar concerning a certain Esmeralda. Figured this were just more at same. I saw one other figure go into the room that night. Someone tall, built broad like a man, but shrouded the same as she. Again, standard practice for Mrs. Counsellor and her visitors. I was startled awake by a horrendous hubbub shortly after midnight. I jumped up and grabbed me grandpappy's machete, bleary-eyed, and by the time I burst into that room, it was horribly silent. There was only Jake on the floor, dead, surrounded by what may as well have whoever done it has escaped through the window. But I saw nary a soul when I looked out. You can bet I hightailed it to the Legion barracks faster than a jackrabbit after that.
Come now, Alistair.
Counsellor Jake, that poor man. I knew too much about his affairs, you know. Never figured it my business to say anything, but after all that's happened, I wonder if that weren't Esmeralda's longest-standing lover has the audacity to remain lodged at this very inn, you know? He's called the Duke of Ferrol, a high title for a low man. If you haven't yet asked him about Esmeralda, I'd recommend it.
Whatever happened to that troop of eager imbeciles we sent to the Northern Cave?
Do I seem like the sort who concerns myself with such things?
You'll be concerned enough when you realize that reward...
3 hopeless sailors. Truly wish I could help you, but I'm barely keeping afloat as it is.
Greetings, Source Hunter. I don't mean to hinder your investigation, but I can't open this...
Challenging the fabled wizard of Hunter's Edge.
Fortune? Ah, he should be so lucky as to be defeated by Alistair the Great.
They say he's privy to ancient and arcane.
Ah, hello. I suppose you're here to viciously interrogate me for Yes, she and I have a history. That's hardly a secret anymore. As easy as it would be to pin suspicions on Esmeralda or I assure you that the affair was never so steamy and sordid as the... Jake and Esmeralda had no great affection for each other. He had his interests, she had hers, and there was little passion left between them. Certainly not enough to fuel a murder. It's very tragic news. I won't posture and say that the Chancellor and I were anything near allies, but I truly never... I am the Duke of Ferrol. The...
I dare say.
Greetings, traveller. And may the Immaculate Conduit's myriad blessings comfort and cradle you. Tell me, have you yet heard the revelation? What's in a name, dear friend? For we all begin equal in the Conduit's eyes, and only through great deeds may enter into her inner... You mean you haven't heard? Oh, what fortune that I may share the goddess's salvation. Steel yourself, friend, for your mortal spirit could be forever transformed from this by following her instructions and becoming initiated into the one way we can each of us live on for a span. She came from on high to we mortals and showed us the path to the goddess, where all live. She showed us that injury and malady need not mark the end of life, but that through her methods we could ascend to... For this hallowed information, you must seek an immaculate chapel. Go north. There, among her followers and friends, dwells the goddess's echo. On the path to the righteous, my friend. Forget not that the conduit...
Never thought I'd see Sicil in such dire straits. This...
By the filed teeth of Sulumar's soul shredder, the end is nigh. Death comes a-creeping for you, Victoria!
Ah, you have come. Yes, that is most satisfactory. Begone, brittle mask of age. Hear me now. Repeat my name is Eglandir Twil Selanar, elf of the house of Gandavum, the slaughtered house of Gandavum. But by the twin blades of the Shadow Vixen, I shall have my... The game, yes! A game of blood and brutality, of death and dexterity. Fun as herring the horror harlequin. But, like the serpentine stalker hisses before... The elves of Gandavum, they lived in peace. Oh, yes. But one night, when the moon had hid her face, the orcs of the tribe of Kazuldagar beset our city. They cooked and ate and burned all undone. Every last one of us. Except for me, the Midnight Rambler, away from the city. I was very old back then already, though indeed I whisper of many years hence. But death shall not find me. Oh no, not until every beast of Kazuldagar has been bled. I may be frail, a withered grey, but the wealth of kings is mine. Countless assassins have ministered to the vengeance that is my want, and now is almost over. By Kala, Lady of the Last Gaze, I swear it is almost done. Only the very last one of the Kazuldagar still eludes me. But I have tracked her down by the curse of the spine spear I have. She does not know her ill-shapen sun is setting fast. Color the dusk red, O sword of youth. Bloody the day with the bramble sap that runs through the veins of Victoria. Bring me the amulet that clings to her flesh, soon to fade. And yours shall be the bounty of vindication. Mine shall be its sanguine satisfaction. Yes, Victoria. She is the one whose heart must be held in hand. The heart around which the fingers of that hand must clench and tighten until its choking flesh bulge. The orcs of Kazuldagar, they knew my name. Oh yes, by the bite of the roving rattler, they knew my design. And so they sought to save their last, an infant, she who was to be queen. To no avail, oh no. Years, how many? Her name is that of a woman, her employment that of a civilized being. But by the fork of Barbara Man-Eater, she is nothing but an orc, a cyst of nature. One of a misbegotten litter dragged into life from the tumoured womb of a filthy, coarse-haired beast that was humped like a dog in the darkness of a stinking hollow. Victoria, librarian. daughter! Adopted child of Cecil, Mayor of Sicile. There is bloodlust in you. I can feel it. Let it out. Set it free.
That was quite the radical change we witnessed. I never would have thought that the benign old man we met outside would turn out to be a vengeance-driven aficionado of assassins.
The anvil of Grog, the torturer. All hail Grog! All hail his hot-steeled instruments.
He has been driven to madness by grief, I think. But I understand his urge to see every last one of that orc tribe dead.
Perhaps, but let's just say I understand.
I swear I saw a lady in red upon the beach.
Actually, I think that's only roast pig.
Ah, yes. Yes, of course. This time.
Heavenly Harry! Delicious dogfish! Yours for a
Oh, fancy that. A source hunter barging in when the lady of the house is fully dressed. Who could have fathomed such?
Hello, proportionate one. Oh, I can see from the symmetry in your face that you are... I'm a painter by trade, as you can see, but a cartographer at heart. You might... I travel around Andervale, mastering my craft and finding new... How lovely to see you again, haver of the beautifully shaped shoulders.
yellow and green, the finest veggies Sicil's ever seen.
Let's see. Halibut, sheep's cheese, tomatoes.
Well, hello there. Lay the big cheese on your block with a wheel of the good stuff.
Let us see if you can choose the finest greens.
Lay the big cheese on your block with a wheel good stuff.
Potions to bemuscle you, scrolls to entussle you.
Join the Spud Club if you got an eye for farm potatoes.
Not the mood for cheese. That excuse is more holes than a slice of this fine almond bread.
Any takers? Come on, you chickens!
Potions to bemuscle you, scrolls to entussle you.
Not the mood for cheese. That excuse is more holes than a slice of this fine almond bread.
Toe of snake, wing of worm, brew and spice 'em, stir and churn.
Let's see. Carrot, sheep's cheese, tomatoes.
Not the mood for cheese. That excuse is more holes than a slice of this fine almond bread.
I'm straight. I'm true. Aaron's by the cousins.
Not the mood for cheese. That excuse is more holes than a slice of this fine almond bread.
Lonesome, spiritless. Perhaps wrestling an earth elemental will inject some vim into your routine.
Let's see. Halibut, sheep's cheese, tomatoes.
Aaron has as many friends as the man with many cheeses.
No better solution to the zombie problem than a set of silver arrows.
Feed a big cheese on your brook with a wheel of the good stuff.
Lonesome, spiritless. Perhaps wrestling an earth elemental will inject some vim into your routine.
Let us see if you can choose the finest greens.
Aaron has as many friends as the man with many cheeses.
Lonesome, spiritless. Perhaps wrestling an earth elemental will inject some vim into your routine.
Let us see if you can choose the finest greens.
Lonesome, spiritless. Perhaps wrestling an earth elemental will inject some vim into your routine.
Sheep's cheese, tomatoes.
Lonesome, spiritless. Perhaps wrestling an earth elemental will inject some vim into your routine.
Join the Spud Club if you got an eye for farm potatoes.
I'm straight. I'm true. Aaron's by the cousins.
Feed a big cheese on your brook with a wheel of the good stuff.
Let us see if you can choose the finest greens.
Join the Spud Club if you got an eye for farm potatoes.
Well, hello there.
Let's see. Halibut, sheep's cheese, tomatoes.
Pay the big cheese on your block with a wheel of the good stuff.
Red and orange, yellow and green, the finest veggies size seals ever seen.
No better solution to the zombie problem than a set of silver arrows.
Not in the mood for cheese. That excuse is more holes than the size of this fine bottle.
A good day to you.
Join the Spud Club if you got an eye for farm potatoes.
Pay the big cheese on your block with a wheel of the good stuff.
Watch the undead quiver in their mouldy boots.
Let us see if you can choose the finest greens.
Not in the mood for cheese. That excuse is more holes than the size of this fine almanac.
Let's see. Halibut, sheep's cheese, tomatoes. Let's see. Halibut, sheep's cheese, tomatoes. Quiet day on the market, it seems.
Toe of snake, wing of worm, brew and spice 'em, stir and churn.
Red and orange, yellow and green, the finest veggies size seals ever seen.
Not in the mood for cheese. That excuse is more holes than the size of this fine almanac.
A good day to you.
Let's see. Halibut, sheep's cheese, tomatoes.
Not in the mood for cheese. That excuse is more holes than the size of this fine almanac.
Lonesome? Spiritless? Perhaps wrestling an earth elemental will inject some vim into your routine.
Not in the mood for cheese. That excuse is more holes than the size of this fine almanac.
Get it while it's fresh. These bags are only hours for food. No better solution to the zombie problem than a set of silver arrows.
Any takers? Come on, you chickens!
Lonesome? Spiritless? Perhaps wrestling an earth elemental will inject some vim into your routine.
Not in the mood for cheese. That excuse is more holes than a slice of this fine almond bread.
Well, hello there.
Halibut, sheep's cheese, tomatoes. Quiet day on the market, it seems.
Toe of snake, wing of worm, brew and spice 'em, stir and churn.
Join the Spud Club if you've got an eye for farm potatoes.
Let's see. Halibut, sheep's cheese, tomatoes.
Toe of snake, wing of worm, brew and spice 'em, stir and churn.
Good day to you.
Not in the mood for cheese. That excuse is more holes than a slice of this fine almond bread.
Let's see. Halibut, sheep's cheese, tomatoes.
Join the Spud Club if you've got an eye for farm potatoes.
Toe of snake, wing of worm, brew and spice 'em, stir and churn.
Let us see if you can choose the finest greens.
Not in the mood for cheese. That excuse is more holes than a slice of this fine almond bread. Read a big cheese on your book for the wheel of the good stuff.
Let's see. Halibut, sheep's cheese, tomatoes.
Red and orange, yellow and green, the finest veggies size seals ever seen.
Let's see. Halibut, sheep's cheese, tomatoes. Quiet day on the market, it seems.
Not in the mood for cheese. That excuse is more holes than a slice of this fine almond bread.
Let's see. Halibut, sheep's cheese, tomatoes.
Watch the undead quiver in their mouldy boots.
Potions to bemuscle you, scrolls to entussle you.
Aaron has as many friends as the man with many cheeses.
Toe of snake, wing of worm, brew and spice 'em, stir and churn.
Any takers? Come on, you chickens!
Toe of snake, wing of worm, brew and spice 'em, stir and churn.
Let's see. Halibut, sheep's cheese, tomatoes.
Aaron has as many
A good day to you.
Aaron has as many friends as the man with many cheeses.
I'm straight. I'm true. Aaron's by the dozens.
Potions to bemuscle you, scrolls to entussle you.
Let's see. Halibut, sheep's cheese, tomatoes.
Aaron has as many friends as the man with many cheeses. Pay the big cheese on your block with a wheel of the good stuff.
Join the Spud Club if you've got an eye for farm potatoes.
Let's see. Halibut, sheep's cheese, tomatoes.
Aaron has as many friends as the man with many cheeses.
Potions to bemuscle you, scrolls to entussle you.
Aaron has as many friends as the man with many cheeses.
Join the Spud Club if you've got an eye for farm potatoes.
Potions to bemuscle you, scrolls to entussle you.
Let's see. Halibut, sheep's cheese, tomatoes.
Aaron has as many friends as the man with many cheeses.
Get it while it's fresh. These bats are only out.
Well, hello there.
Let us see if you can choose the finest greens.
Pay the big cheese on your block with a wheel of the good stuff.
Get it while it's fresh. These bats are only out.
Pay the big cheese on your block with a wheel of the good stuff.
Red and orange, yellow and green, the finest veggies Sicil's ever seen.
Let's see. Halibut, sheep's cheese, tomatoes.
A good day to you.
Not in the mood for cheese. The excuse is more holes than a slice of this fine golden there.
Lonesome, spiritless. Perhaps wrestling an earth elemental will inject some vim into your routine.
Watch the undead quiver in their mouldy boots.
Any takers? Come on, you chickens!
No better solution to the zombie problem than a set of silver arrows. Where's Abbott? Nothing more fire.
Let's see. Halibut, sheep's cheese, tomatoes.
Aaron has as many friends as the man with many cheeses.
A good day to you.
Pay the big cheese on your block with a wheel of the good stuff.
Watch the undead quiver in their mouldy boots.
Lonesome? Spiritless? Perhaps wrestling an earth elemental will inject some vim into your routine?
Watch the undead quiver in their mouldy boots.
Aaron has as many friends as the man with many cheeses.
A good day to you.
Let's see. Halibut, sheep's cheese, tomatoes.
No better solution to the zombie problem than a set of silver arrows.
Red and orange, yellow and green, the finest veggies size seals ever seen.
Quiet day on the market, it seems.
Toe of snake, wing of worm, brew and spice 'em, stir and churn.
Good day to you.
Red and orange, yellow and green, the finest veggies size seals ever seen.
Quiet day on the market, it seems. Let's see. Halibut, sheep's cheese, tomatoes.
Join the Spud Club if you've got an eye for farm potatoes.
Quiet day on the market, it seems. Let's see. Halibut, sheep's cheese, tomatoes.
Aaron has as many friends as the man with many cheeses.
I'm straight. I'm true. Arrows by the dozens. Watch the undead quiver in their mouldy boots.
Red and orange, yellow and green, the finest veggies size seals ever seen.
Let's see. Halibut, sheep's cheese, tomatoes.
Well, hello there.
Not the mood for cheese. An excuse is more home than a slice of this fine golden fat.
I'm straight. I'm true. Arrows by the dozens.
Halibut, sheep's cheese, tomatoes.
Watch the undead quiver in their mouldy boots.
Join the Spud Club if you've got an eye for farm potatoes.
Lonesome? Spiritless? Perhaps wrestling an earth elemental will inject some vim into your routine?
Aaron has as many friends as the man with many cheeses.
Lonesome? Spiritless? Perhaps wrestling an earth elemental will inject some vim into your routine?
Join the Spud Club if you've got an eye for farm potatoes.
Made a big cheese on your block with a wheel of the good stuff.
Toe of snake, wing of worm, brew and spice 'em, stir and churn.
Let us see if you can choose the finest greens.
Lonesome? Spiritless? Perhaps wrestling an earth elemental will inject some vim into your routine?
Join the Spud Club if you've got an eye for farm potatoes.
Lonesome? Spiritless? Perhaps wrestling an earth elemental will inject some vim into your routine?
Our there's as many friends as the man, many cheeses. Made a big cheese on your block with a wheel of the good stuff.
Wash the undead swimmer in their multi boots.
Careful, comrades. I've seen sorcerers infuse even lowly fowl with dark enchantments.
Source hunters, eh? All right, proper, we're finally getting a hand. Things if you've got a favourite sheep, best to fry her up now before she gets thieved in the night like me dear plump Ogget, the finest in me herd. Now that the herd's gone, old Birch is just scratching by like a hen till the next batch of beasties comes through. I recently sold most of the tender loves to a trader heading north. Plenty of business that way these days. Those miners must be preparing for a mighty great feast. Wish I could have a nibble on my dear darlings, all ground and spiced. Yes. Oh, Ogget's been missing for more than a fortnight. I love that sheep, you know. Was planning to cook her into a fine midwinter night haggis myself. Do tell me if you hear anything about her. I plan on pursuing whoever stole her with my cleaver in hand. Sorry, can't help you there. Haven't got enough livestock left to warrant a hand with the work. I bet Tim Fred's been sprung up by his ears by now, devilish thing. Oh, hello, love. Nice day for a little stroll around the
What are ye staring at? Some poor chaps lost their ship and want some work. Just send 'em to me and tell 'em there's a bit of coin and a lot of rum coming their way if they don't mind a bit of honest labour.
tomatoes.
Captain Jack's the name, though the title may be a little generous at the moment. My crew ran off, and I can't find enough hardy souls to help me reload the ship and sail off. Those scallywags heard there be silver in the Lacula mines, and they abandoned ship like the lily-livered turkeys they are. Haven't seen them since...
More holes than a slice of this fine almond land.
I swear I saw a lady in red upon the beach, but everyone laughs and says I'll see...
Well, what sort of arrows do you want? Freezing? Silver? Poison? Get to the point.
Heavenly herring! Delicious dogfish! Yours for a scrap of gold each!
Quiet day on the market, it seems.
Get it while it's fresh! This batch is only hours from the sea!
Well, hello there.
Watch the undead quiver in their mouldy boots.
Let us see if you can choose the finest green.
That tone, soothing a corpse's troubled mind. Can't have gotten far.
Thank you eternally for your help. Though your reaction to the healing stone, I have no idea what to make of it. That strange reaction you caused, blue lightning from a healing stone, I've never seen anything like it. And the stone looks different now, too. Like it's devoid of life. I begin to wonder if its magical properties survived your little reaction. I've been studying under Theliron for some time now, but that task, being asked to play the gods, was the first time I've a passion for this work, you see. A passion to see things put in order, from a flesh wound healed to an entire city made resistant to a fatal illness.
To what do I owe the repeated pleasure, Source Hunter? Sorry, but there isn't much work for sailors in a house of medicine. Well, she certainly possesses a critical eye and an exacting... I expect she'll be a very successful healer in her own right when the time comes. She is learning from the best, after all. The world belongs to the young, they say, and Boris will live to take his piece. Thank you for your help in this matter.
Lonesome? Spiritless? Perhaps wrestling an earth elemental will inject some vim into your...
Leave me be, I have a job to do.
Legion's greetings. I have been informed about your heroics on the beach. Were that I had been there to partake in the battle. But my duties lie here, sworn as I am to protect Lady Esmeralda from the rabble that would enforce summary justice on her, even though she is, until proven guilty, wholly innocent. I am Septimus, 7th son in a household of 9, legionnaires all. Me and 2 brothers of mine were assigned to Sicile from day 1. Alas, both of them have long since fallen in battle against the dead. So fair a lady I have seldom seen in all of Rivellon, my friend. And I have traveled more extensively than migratory birds do. Steadfast will I guard her. Never will I waver unless absolute proof of her culpability should be brought before me. And I hold Jake's murder is, in a word, a tragedy. He was well loved in all of Sicile. The Council of 7 couldn't have wished for a better ambassador. That he of all people... And what questions are those? The Sicilians used to say this was a chosen place, favored by the higher powers. I can tell you one thing about the undead, and that is to stay the hell away from them. I've seen too many men and women put on a brave face and avow to undo death's scourge, only to be struck down and have their innards eaten out of them. What?
So that item interests you, yes? I can let you have it for a very reasonable price indeed. Then please try to leave things where they are if you do not intend to buy anything. Lords above, grant me patience. You're a source hunter, aren't you? Here because you think I killed my husband. How many times do I need to state and restate my complete innocence in the matter? I am Esmeralda, wife of Jake, and now, alas, his widow. Poor man. We were both so young when we married. He so rich and I so poor. But his one and only princess just the same. Like I told just about every legionnaire in town, I don't know anything about poor Jake's murder. I want his killer found and tried, but everyone suspects me of this evil deed. And you're no... So what happened? Some of them tittle-tattling crab chasers down the pub call me a murderous gold digger and you believe them? These insinuations truly go beyond the pale. Oh, I think I'm getting one of my headaches. Starstone? I've never heard of such a thing. Dear Jake had a mineral collection, yes. As far as I knew, it was one of his pastimes, nothing more. Do you mean to imply he collected something dangerous? Something that may have gotten him into trouble? Oh, this is all too much. I feel like I'm drifting from night... Well, what do you want to know? Sicil. Now that's a sad story. Roofs of elegant homes burned for fuel. Oaken cupboards emptied. And ladies dragging the dregs of their great skirts to bargain for fish. Praise be that Arhu the wizard has the wits about him to build these newfangled weapons of his. Or Sicil would have been the very throne of decay by now. Because of him, life here is almost bearable again, despite the walking dead.
Quite adamant about her innocence.
We'll need to look for evidence if we want to prove she actually did the evil deed.
Assure me, dear Septimus, that you haven't been fighting those awful orcs. I can't bear to imagine something would happen to you.
Oh, but don't you worry, my lady. We legionnaires are highly trained soldiers who fear neither orc nor demon.
Oh, but what if you were to be ambushed, caught unawares? Oh, catch me, for I might faint.
If only the popular girls from the Source Academy could see how edgy and dangerous you've become. If If only the popular girls from the Source Academy could see how edgy and dangerous you've become. If only the popular girls from the Source Academy could see how edgy and dangerous you've become.
Soon the last will be beaten. Beaten like the anvil of Grog, the torturer. All hail, Grog! All hail his hot-steeled instruments.
Ah, you have come. Yes, that is most satisfying.
The game,
The elves all under.
I have tracked her down. Yes.
The orcs of
Her name, Victoria.
Light. My name.
That was quite the radical change we witnessed. I never would have thought that the benign old man we met outside would turn out to be a vengeance-driven aficionado of assassins.
End is nigh. Death comes a-creeping for you, Victoria!
He has been driven to madness by grief, I think. But I understand his urge to see every last one of that orc tribe dead.
Shredder, the end is nigh. Death comes a-creeping for you, Victoria!
Perhaps, but let's just say I understand him no longer. His madness is now focused on the demise of an
Filed teeth of Sulumar Soul Shredder. The end is nigh. Death comes.
Watch out! Oh, the fierce stench of frightened Source Goblin. Actually, I think that's only roast pig.
Toe of snake, wing
yes,
of worm,
yes, of
brew and
course.
spice 'em,
Yes.
stir and churn. Good day.
My, what a
Move along.
strong and handsome officer you are, kind Septimus. You must have fought many a battle, am I right? In fact, I bet you're a real war hero.
Oh, I'm no hero, Esmeralda, dearest. I'm just doing my duty, you know. For the Legion. Legion's greetings. I am so fair, steadfast will Jake's murder, and what questions are... We've been stationed, proper soldier.
Lords above, I am Esmeralda. Like I told, so what happened? Some of them tittle-tattling crab chasers star-studded. Do you mean to imply... Well, what do you want to know? I'm telling...
Quite adamant about her innocence.
We'll need to look for evidence if we want to prove she actually did the evil deed.
Potions to bemuscle you, scrolls to entussle you.
Careful, comrades. I've seen sorcerers infuse even lowly fowl with dark enchantments.
My word!
Fantastic!
Today, I think, a king. The great Sigurd and his rainbow of war machines.
Fantastic!
It is said, and this I have heard from a ghost who knew Elba, who knew Elliot, who is said to have known Sigurd himself, that the king had a great thirst
Bravo!
for colour.
Yeehaw!
So ardently did he crave creamy blues and gory reds that he ordered a contest across his realm. Today, I think, a king. The great Sigurd. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti. Oh, excuse me, I'm trying to prepare for the next show. Autographs will... I doubt I have to tell you that I am the amazing singing Stefan. The only sentient severed head is... You're a source hunter, aren't you? Oh, bless the seven. Oh, you've got to help me. I've been pleasure to meet you. Now, please, Stefan has many fans to meet today. Psst, help me. Take me to Reginald's cellar. There I will reveal everything. It won't be the worst indignation I've suffered. Get...
Hey, stop that!
Fantastic! Bravo! Yeehaw!
Ha! Today, I think, a king. The great Sigurd and his rainbow of war machines. It is said, and this I have heard from a ghost who knew Elba, who knew Elliot, who is said to have known Sigurd himself, that the king had a great thirst...
Fantastic! Hear the stage calling you!
Fantastic! Ordered a contest across his realm.
Zombie ate your dog? Orc sunk your ship? No matter! You're at Katerina's Fair, a veritable summer home for troubled minds. Won't you take us? Well, I'm Katerina the Fair, fairest first lady of the fair. I've an open stage in want of talent, and I've often found the best young performers among the rank and file of the audience.
Fantastic.
The theatre's fever has overcome you, has it? Marvelous! I do so love a fresh green talent ready to bloom. but I support players, not writers, you see. If you want to perform here, check the library and see if any of the classics there interest you. I'd love to see a Source Hunters take on one of the old standards.
My word! You there! You look like an actor just waiting for his big debut.
Enjoying the fair, aren't you? Right away, my dear, just as fast as your boots can carry you. You found something decent to speak to Master Chaucer if you're ready for your debut. He alone can adequately prepare you for the stage.
Come on! Come on! Can't you hear the stage calling you? And who are you supposed to be? Oh, I should have been one of the greats. But here I am gathering peasants to watch peasants perform broadside pageants for peanuts. No, really? I hadn't noticed. If not for this ridiculous condition, you'd know me as the king's favorite thespian. Don't you have an impressive library here in Sicil? I'm sure that beast of a librarian could rustle something up for you. Katerina's given the go-ahead, has she? Oh, tell me when you're ready to begin, and I'll show you to your places and gather you whatever crowd of drunken yokels can be prevailed. You there! Sit! Stay a while. Right in front. I'll excite you. I'll delight you. I'll be damn pity. When Reginald came, he brought some fantastic prop with him. Now, have you seen it? A talking head. Now, I never expected a silly gimmick like that to be mine. It seems even my usually choosy audience has been taken in by that hack's little gizmo. I'm a man of skill, sleight of hand, feats of wit, and pure. And even when there's no crowd to speak of, old Reggie still has at least one fan calling bravo and hee-haw. Sure as the sun sets, that one devote. I don't know how he inspires such loyalty with less talent contained between his hat and his boot. You there! You look like an actor just waiting for his big debut.
Can you spare a coin? One coin or two, noble spirit? One coin or two? Oh, I am a happy man, and certainly a humble one now. It turns out losing it all has its own share of benefit. Ah, a fool once was I, and ever seeking greater satisfaction than that which I already enjoyed. In my folly, I sought the counsel of those notorious Watcher statues on the Western Cliffs. Their guidance ruined any small fortune I might have had. I'd heard they were not to be trusted, that they gave fools' advice to the fools who sought them, but somehow they told me that I would find fame and renown if I renounced my worldly possessions, all my worldly possessions, and became a great figure of piety and fire, the most thorough cleanser, was my method. But as my house burned in front of me, I felt no elevation, no piety, only the sudden weight of my own idiocy upon my very soul. May the soul of Astarte smile upon you, kind stranger. Thank you, kind one.
So those statues told him he'd have to renounce his earthly possessions to become a spiritual leader, did they?
Absurd. Since when is poverty a prerequisite of spirituality?
Some of the richest people in the world.
Cruel fortune.
Good to have you back, Source Hunter. A sight for sore eyes indeed.
Those bugs will embarrass a bridge troll. Get to signing recruits.
Sorry, sir.
Infected, do you? Come on now, I pulled her
You
off you
think
before
that's
she
funny,
could do any
Private?
real damage.
Any real
Sir,
damage?
no,
Are you
sir.
joking? I've been mauled. I'll be disfigured for life.
Come on with the dramatics. It's not as bad as all that.
The
About
face furious. She
face.
bit me in the face.
Look on the bright
To the
side.
barracks.
Everyone
Knock.
knows the ugly soldiers are the most ferocious.
Uglier
Recruits. That was sloppier than Sicilian stew.
That's it,
Again.
troops. Train up while you can. The next orcish strike could land at any moment.
Attention. About face.
Hey, Tull, I think that was an insult.
Don't pay attention to the beast furious. You'll only encourage it.
Again.
Ice blue eyes, narrow beneath a heavy brow streaked with sweat and dust. Her hands tense into claws, held at the ready.
Her brow knits together, but something in her pose relaxes. She clears her throat.
I am Bear Daughter. I have not come here to find trouble with the Screech woman. She only startled me. And you are a Source Hunter. I have heard many tales of your order. Your history is long and... This woman here, the one who now plots her revenge, she crept behind me while I was hunting, and I only defended myself. I would not hurt an innocent Screech woman on purpose. But soon their swords were upon me, and they forced me into this cage meant for dogs. Mother would rip the fur from her chest if she could see how they keep me.
You don't think it's infected, do you?
Come on now, I pulled her off you before she could...
Hey, who's that then? Come on, stand where my good eye can see you.
Easy, Tull. That's the Source Hunter you're talking to.
She may have the look of a woman if you squint hard enough, but she's no more than a wild animal. We got reports of a strange-looking outsider skulking through the town with her bow drawn. I found her crouched behind a tree, taking aim at a fat old rat trotting along the city walls. I tapped her on the shoulder to see what was what, and the beast startled like a wild cat and lunged right at me.
Bit Tullia right in the face, she did. It wasn't pretty, and now it's got a chunk ripped off it to boot.
Enjoy it while you can, Ver. There's not another legionnaire in the cohort that'll have you if I go rabid.
Well, that's to be decided. She doesn't seem to be sick, despite Tully's moaning. We can't keep her here forever, but we can't well send her into the wild.
Sir, no, sir.
Those bugs will embarrass a bridge
Perhaps it'd be worth taking this stranger under our wing. She'll likely come in handy, if we can trust her to watch our backs.
Attention! About face!
After all, a fearless hunter might prove quite useful for our investigation.
Well, that's a relief, ain't it? We found a good home for her after all, Tull.
Heed me, Source Hunter. She's not good for anything more than cannon fodder. And don't turn your back on her when she's got that bow within arm's reach.
Recruits! That was sloppier than Sicilian stew. Again!
Source Hunter, I have heard tales both grand and terrible about the world of humans. I myself was caged one moment and freed the next by our kind. In Home Forest, every creature acts according to the nature of its kind. Birds frighten easily, badgers fear little. But amongst men, there are no guarantees.
Those folks will embarrass a bridge troll. Get to shining recruits.
Sorry, sir.
Those folks will embarrass a bridge troll. Get to shining recruits.
Sorry, sir.
You think that's funny, Private?
Sir, no, sir.
Attention! About face! To the barracks! March! Recruits! That was sloppier than Sicilian stew. Again! Attention!
It is strange to stand with one foot in the forest and the other in the city, Source Hunter. I am glad that now I have you standing beside me, even if one burns hot while the other wheezes cold. Perhaps in time I will come to know my own kind as you have, and perhaps then I will decide for myself whether ours is a noble kind.
Sorry, sir.
we here, then? A so-called source hunter, eh? Well, look, do what you must in Sicil, but don't make waves and don't interfere with the Legion's... I'm Captain Aureus, if you must know, leader of the Legion in Sicil. By which I mean I have the enviable task of commanding a battalion of walking dead. For I fear it may well be but a matter of time before the undead undo all my soldiers and turn... Gods above! Some politician snuffs it and everyone's in an uproar! Ridiculous! I told that wizard brat of an Ahu not to bother, but he just had to send for source hunters, didn't he? Bloody magicians! They see a pigeon poop and think sorcery's afoot! Nevertheless, I want to be kept in the loop, understand? I am in command of this town, not Mayor Cecil, not Ahu, and definitely not some hotshot source hunter. So investigate Jake's death if you feel so inclined, but report back to me the moment you the scene of the crime is over at the King Crab Inn. You can tell the guard you have my permission to enter. Now off with you! Esmeralda is Jake's wife. Well, widow. Everyone in town, down to the crabs on the beach, is convinced she killed him. Now, the girl has the reputation of being a flirt. There is that. But that doesn't suffice as evidence, wouldn't you say? Or do source hunters rely on hearsay alone, perhaps? That certainly would explain some of the... What? You're going to stand there and claim with a straight face your order never wrongly tortured and executed anyone? Hardly. But I won't stand for such nonsense. If you bring evidence before me, I'll evaluate it with perfect objectivity. The Legion relies on reason, see? Not idle superstition. Whom would you have the Legion arrest? If you must. Bravo! Figured that one out, did you? I hadn't been stuck here for 2 years because we're being besieged by fluffy kittens, you know. Those brain-feasting freaks out there keep on coming. And it takes all the sword arms and all of Ahu's half-baked contraptions to keep them at bay. Keeping them at bay, that is all we do. Were that I could break their backs once and for all. How am I enjoying it? Are you spoiling for a fight, Hunter? Are you? Sicil stinks of fish, reeks of orcs, and on a good day the wind disperses the stench of decomposing corpses. I can't remember the last time I had a proper piece of steak, and by now I retch at the mere sight of sardines. So in conclusion, I am not enjoying Sicil. I'd say they are looking for weak spots in our defenses. They can't make an attack over land for fear of Ahu's magical machines, so they're trying their luck by sea. They won't succeed, though. Not against the Legion. We are the pride of Rivellon, to be found and to be seen everywhere. We don't hide in the dark and lurk in corners like some I could mention. No. We protect the civilized from the barbaric. Yes, and he also spends most of his time in the guise of a cat, licking God's knows which body parts. Sects, sorcerers. He'll be seeing flying carpets next.
I hope your quest fares well, dear hunter. What? I'd never. If you must know, I was merely checking up on Maxine, the mayor's cat. What a delight she is. The temperament of a tiger, the grace of a leopard, and the manners of a lady all rolled into one. A perfect puss, if ever there was one. By all means. I can't say much more, but that they're madmen. All the more dangerous to us because of their alliance with what should be a natural enemy. You won't see me teaming up with a terrier in a hurry.
Sorry, sir.
Greetings! These stalls are for our Legion troops. Rivellon's finest work up mighty fine appetite serving the seven. Murder within the walls, undead outside of the walls. And here we...
Don't let that rooster escape! He's already on the menu for tonight!
A chicken has the right to live too.
Yes, let's pardon him. Just look at the little blighter. He does...
Why did you let my chicken escape?
Dancing dugongs, you nearly startled me out of my boots. Well, you've got my attention, comrade.
Sorry, sir.
Greetings! These stalls are for our...
You let my chicken escape? Looks like it's your lucky day, Jack. Now to tell the troops they're getting nothing but the cornbread.
Did someone leave an oven door open?
Now, there's my pepper. Did it sprout legs and run away? Ah, yeah.
I wouldn't venture too far out of town. Who's these days? Don't ask me.
So, the wizard's crafted a device intended to keep the undead at bay, has he? Little did he expect we'd... Careful now, comrades, and tread lightly. There's no telling when that madman's doomsday device might gain sentience and turn its rays on us. Magical sort will do anything to increase. But have no fear, comrades. Together, we form an elite squad of unstoppable sort.
To leave the city is to venture into danger. Be careful, Source Hunter.
Looks like that dog is awfully agitated.
Perhaps he wants to tell us something.
So many dead civilians. It's an honor to visit the fallen.
But theirs is not a sad fate, I think. To join the grass, to become food.
Nemrith is the greatest philosopher in the land, you know. I'd give me left whiskers to be half as smart as him.
Oh!
May the seven keep you.
Jake, where are you? Are you here, Jake? Jake!
Rest in peace.
Where are you? Are you here, Jake? Jake!
Here lies Kavanagh. Will they have Sicil pie in the afterlife? Here lies Kavanagh. Here lies Kavanagh. Will they have Sicil pie in the afterlife?
Are you here, Jake? Jake!
May the
Hey, wow! I was wondering where that awesome sweaty boot smell was coming from. And here, I'm Murphy, Jake's dog. Wow, you smell great! Have you been rolling around on dead things all day? That's my favourite hobby too. You know who I miss? Jake. Sometimes he'd just sit there being awesome. And I'd give him this look like, you smell great. And he'd give me this look like, you do too. I came here so I could smell Jake again. He smelled great. But whatever's buried there doesn't smell like Jake at all. No, it's definitely not Jake. He was awesome. If I ever find out who killed Jake, the most awesome Jake who ever jaked, I'll bark so much! Seriously, so much!
May the seven keep you.
What trickery is this?
Where are you?
That's not Jake.
Are you here, Jake?
It's a rotting sheep's corpse. It seems someone snatched Jake's body.
May the seven keep you.
Where are you, Jake? Are you playing without me?
you, Jake? Are you playing without me?
May the seven keep you.
Jake, where are you? Are you here, Jake? Jake!
Rest in peace, darling.
I smell rotten lamb chops. Jake, where are you?
Maybe.
Jake! I smell rotten lamb chops.